Porsche 911 991 model, the Carrera S that we have here, comes with PCM 3.1 system, the infotainment that never featured Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connectivity. Well, never featured it from factory. However, you can get aftermarket kits for it to give you that feature. The question is it a DIY job that you can do yourself, or should you involve a specialist to do it for you? In this video, we'll discuss why PCM 3.1 systems never featured the CarPlay option, what are the risks of installing the or retrofitting a kit to it, and how to decide if, before we actually start pulling the dash apart, if it's a DIY job for yourself or should you involve specialists to do it for you. So let's get to it. So the Porsche PCM 3.1 systems, they were designed in late 2000s, early 2010 years. That was the time when CarPlay or Android Auto didn't exist as an option even for any car. So when those systems, the infotainment system, were designed, they obviously didn't have any option to have that feature. And then later in the years when that feature became available, Porsche did release it for the newer model, which was the PCM 4.0. But the PCM 3.1s never had it available as a factory option. So what happens to all the drivers that have cars with PCM 3.1? The only solution is going for the aftermarket retrofit kit. And that's absolutely fine. However, you need to know which kit is actually worth having installed. And also, on top of that, you need to know what risks it carries when you're having that system installed to your infotainment stereo system. So what are the risks and facts with having the Apple CarPlay Android Auto kit fitted to your Porsche PCM 3.1 system? And number one that is most important, I would say, is the warranty issues. You will lose your warranty on the PCM system if you're having the Apple CarPlay kit installed to it. The reason being, you are modifying the system in order to fit it. And by modifying, I'm saying I'm not just plugging something at the back of the unit. It's not a plug and play kit. The kit requires opening up the system to the board level and adding extra circuit boards to it, extra new connections and so on. And when you do that, you're modifying the system, which means the warranty is either from Porsche itself or any third-party like warranties will not cover a modified system. Similar to if you, let's say, add aftermarket exhaust to your car. If you have a warranty on the car, then that warranty will stop covering your exhaust. It will still cover the rest, but the exhaust won't be covered because you modified it. So it's the same kind of on here. Number two, installation of the kit involves, as I already mentioned, changing the architecture of the PCM system. You're adding extra circuit boards, you're adding new connections, ribbon cables and so on. And that is a job that requires skills. You need to be technically minded to do so. You need to have some experience. I would not recommend doing it to anyone who never attempted things like that before. There are tutorials online, you can follow it, but quite often we find people attempt it and halfway through they realize, oh my god, this is actually not what I expected. It's way more technical, and I wish I didn't do it. So yeah, I would strongly recommend watch at least some of these tutorials and think for yourself if you actually can do it or not, because it's not like an engineering level difficulty, but it is technical and it is a skilled task to do, process, and it requires experience, patience, and being extra careful, because you can easily damage these systems, and that then will cost you way more just to bring the system back up and running, not even talking about the CarPlay, but just to get your PCM fully working again. Now, the issues that we find with systems fitted DIY way are sound issues, and that loss of sound across all the source levels, from radio to media to aux and so on. You will lose all the sounds. That's incorrectly installed system. System not booting up correctly, so either it's dead completely, or you can hear it starting but there's nothing on the screen, or system starting up and working fine for a bit and then shutting down. All these well, all these issues we've seen with DIY kits installed to the PCM. And often the DIY kits are actually the issue themselves. They're not great because there's so many of them available now on eBay, AliExpress and so on, when you can buy, and there's a lot of them are copies of the copy. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying anything that is less than around £400-500. I think in that mark, that's the proper kits that you should be getting if you're thinking of doing it yourself. Now, the good thing is you can have these systems installed in your PCM system, and when it's done professionally, and that's the way I would recommend, is that the most important thing, it takes away all the risks. It should be at least taking away all the risks and worries that you might have, which will come by doing it yourself. Because any specialist that will try to attempt it, you should ask them, do you have insurance in place? What happens if you damage my system? Will you cover the repair or replacement? And even afterwards, aftercare, let's say you've got the system installed and 6 months down the line, something goes wrong, who's going to be liable for it? Is it the fitter? Is it you? Is it, what happened? And so you should have warranties in place when you having it done with a specialist, so that make sure whoever is doing it for you, they have policies in place to cover situations, and you do get a warranty not only for the newly installed CarPlay but also for the PCM system, because its architecture has been changed. Now, if the system is installed properly, professionally and properly, then you will benefit from a fantastic CarPlay and Android Auto feature that is missing in the Porsches with PCM 3.1 system. It actually brings them back to the current modern cars level where you have the latest technology, which is really something that many people these days wouldn't even consider buying a car if these features are not there. So if you're having a slightly older car with PCM 3.1 and you're thinking about oh, but it doesn't have that, don't let you stop buying the car, because when it's done professionally, or if you are professional, or if you are hands-on to the level that you are confident you can do it yourself, then yeah, it's a fantastic system. We've been using it on our own cars for many years, and they're just brilliant. They just enhance the whole experience when using the car. Having the system in the car is just no-brainer. It's I would say even a must these days. Now, this Porsche that I've mentioned came to us actually and is an example of typical DIY job that's gone wrong. A client bought a kit online, attempted to fit it himself, and although he said he managed to follow, it was a bit nerve-wracking for him, but he followed it all been fine, and the system actually comes up and works, which I'll show you. However, he has no sound whatsoever in the car, which is one of the typical issues. And in the end, we've taken over from him, and we are going to remove the system and install one that we stand by, and is the only one that we actually approve, and the one that has been tested on all of our cars that we've been driving for years, and we know the system is robust, works, and will guarantee your satisfaction. So let me show you what I mean. So as you can see here, I've got the phone connected. So when I switch over using the info button, it does switch on the CarPlay, so that the client managed to get that fully working. However, the phone is connected, but he has no sound in the car. So I can put the volume up, but nothing changes. And if I select any of the radios, so from AM to, let's go to DAB, for example, it goes back to AM. Let's go to FM, and there you go. It just doesn't change at all, nothing. If I try media, let's say aux or anything like that, it refers back to AM. There's just no sound whatsoever from any source in the car, which is typical for incorrectly installed kit. Now, also, little things that matter in especially in Porsches, because it's such a quality cars, if you get it done professionally, it shouldn't be done like this, where you get lots of bunch of cables installed. Like here you've got the microphone for calls and so on, and obviously the cable, the USB cable here that for charging and for the connection. Obviously it's also wireless, but I'm just showing you these cables. And please, you can see all the trims that have been removed as well of here. my camera's gone funny. So here, it's just the way the car came to us actually. So it's already been stripped down. Client thought, you might as well just leave it like that because you guys will be getting to it, which is correct. So there are little differences. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this out, remove everything, and then show you when it's completed, the little differences. And the little differences I mean is if I go here, look for example at the graphics here, and also this home, it just looks very generic. And if I press this, that usually, this is the, I don't even know what kind of kit this is, but you can see the menu. You can switch between iOS, instead of saying CarPlay, it says iOS, Android here, and then all the other settings you can adjust. And then little things like this, when I switch here, I don't like, for example, is this home here, the loose cables, and so on, so on. So let us start the work, and we show you when it's all completed how the little details that make this special actually for our clients. Okay, so we have the PCM 3.1 system out from the car, and we have disassembled to get it to the core where you can install the Apple CarPlay kit to it. So you can see the screen bit that is sitting here. Then we have the power and main motherboard part, which is this bit, and then you've got the CD slot, the drive bit here. Now the customer had installed this circuit board in here, so it was sitting like that. I show you, and it was sitting like this, and then you had the wiring going throughout. So this is out because obviously we removed it, and our one, which is slightly simpler because it's more of a switchboard, this one has more things to it. Doesn't mean it's better, it's just different design. It sits nicely like this, there you go, and it matches, you can see the screws where they go, so to attach this properly to it. Then you've got all these connectors, and you use these ribbon cables to connect between the main circuit board to this board, and then from this board to the screen. So you see every single one has these connectors, from wider ones to the more narrow ones that needs to connect and link them together. Now we found additional issue with it, so not only the sound wasn't working, but there's an additional issue here. And the additional issue that we found is this capacitor that normally sits here in this place when I'm pointing. It's a very tiny little metal cylinder that you see. I'll show you here in the pictures how it looks actually. This is the kind of when it's installed, it's attached to the, you see the two metal points connections here. And then on the board itself, that's how it should be sitting. You've got one connector and the other, and that's where it sits. So we have it missing here, and it has snapped. So actually when we were removing the unit, there was something rattling inside, and we found that this was the part that's rattled. And it's quite a crucial part because it is responsible for smoothing the power. So what I mean by that is, for example, if you have sudden spikes, for example, you might jump start the car or something, then this little device will kind of protect it from any overloading. But if it's not present, then what could happen, and most likely would, is that you will fry the circuit board off the screen because the protection is not there. And as you can see, it's got one leg still in there and the other one is gone already. So this needs to be replaced and put together in there in order to get it fully protected again. And as I said, this is very delicate, this installation. This is not for everyone. And even just by plugging and connecting, a ribbon cable most likely must have happened. While connecting, someone must have, snap the little cylinder here from its position and caused this issue. So although the system was working and the screen was starting up, in the future, the electronics don't have any protection, and that would be a massive issue if ever there was any spikes in the voltage. Okay, we've got the unit back in the car, fully assembled again with the new kit fitted, with the capacitor for the screen electronics replaced. So it's back to fully working again. We've got the sound as well working, which is important. And just want to show you quickly the operation. So let's just go through it. So again, we press info button here for 3 seconds, switches over. It's already started with my favorite app, which is the Waze, but you can see all the apps are fully working on it. here, it comes up, the Waze is there, you've got Google Maps as well if you want. You can go into that and have your maps working through that. And there are a few little differences that it's the little attention to detail. Let's start with one here, which is the little icon, home icon, to go back to the main menu is got a Porsche logo on it, if you can see. You see, so that's again, it doesn't make the difference in the functionality, but adds a little bit of touch of to it, which I think, yeah, matches the car quality having that rather than some random app here. Another thing is you no longer have any wires hanging in here. We've utilized the original USB that was in the car here, so the phone is connected. So this is obviously it's wireless, but I'm also showing you that we've utilized the original USB connectivity, so you don't have to have any additional wiring. You're utilizing the original. So again, fully integrated. This phone can be wireless or wired. It's connected because it's got a low battery, but it is utilizing the original USB. Again, a very small detail, but I think makes a big difference to the user. Another thing is the microphone I was showing you. It's integrated, so you don't see anything. Any people usually install them here or here or somewhere there. Nothing is. You don't see any microphones because it's fully integrated. Microphones, original microphones, are actually in the steering column. You've got little grills here, you see. So that's again small details that make the difference in the functionality. And most important now, the customer has warranty on the product and the installation. He's got a protection on the PCM 3.1 system because we had to disassemble, so now we take responsibility on that as well. And he's got a fully integrated system, fully working system. He's got also repaired capacitor on the unit, which obviously wouldn't happen if this was done by a specialist to start with, but it happened, doesn't matter. It's all repaired now, so that's important, obviously, so it protects your system. And there were the little differences that I showed you, this and the USB and no wires and everything. It just integrated a little bit further, gives you that, you know, fully integrated feel that you should have with this car, something that wasn't available as a factory option. Now, although it isn't factory, it is as close as possible to it. Yeah, giving you not only peace of mind, but full functionality. Yeah, and that's, I believe, how it should be for any Porsche owner. Again, this video shows you it can be done by yourself, and if you are brave enough and you have some technical skills, you can do it yourself, but then have in mind all the things we've discussed in this video. And yeah, and if you want to get to this level of details, then you need to buy the right kit and so on. I'm not going to advertise here products, so it's just literally to show you the differences. Yeah, but it does that. Now, if you have PCM 4.0 system, which is the next generation infotainment done by Porsche, and you're looking for the Apple CarPlay Android Auto upgrade for that, the good news is there was an option from the factory, and it's possible to have it fitted retrospectively. And we've made a video showing you that upgrade as well. So click on the video and watch it there.